ऑक्सफोर्ड प्रोग्रेसिव इंग्लिश 5 और ये इसका न्यू एडिशन है। इसमें जो आज हम पढ़ रहे हैं वो यूनिट नंबर 19 का लेसन 3 है, रीडिंग टाइम ट्रेवल। तो ये जो है इसके आगे साउंड का निशान है, तो ये मुझे चलाना है और आप इसको साथ साथ पढ़ें।
Unit 19, Lesson 3, Time Travel. Listen as you read the story. Then talk about the pictures in Exercise A.
On Saturday morning, Dan, Sandra, and Emma turned up at Uncle Steve's garage, carrying their day packs for the day's trip. Steve smiled at them. "Are you ready for the adventure? Then let's go." "How do you start the machine?" asked Dan. Steve explained. "It works like this. You know what a search engine is, don't you? You use it to look for an image of any place in the world. Then you click on the image that you see on your computer monitor, and the time machine takes you there, all by means of artificial intelligence. Like this." He moved the cursor rapidly around the images on the screen, paused, and then double-clicked. A red light flashed, then changed to green. "Loaded" came up on the screen. Steve clicked on the square marked Go. There was no wind, just a very high whistle. Then they all noticed that they were no longer in Steve's garage. The screen stopped flashing and turned green. Landed, choose, stay, or another place. Steve clicked on stay and then sleep, and the machine shut down. They noticed that they were in a different place, in a large square surrounded by beautiful buildings. "Have you guessed where we are?" asked Steve. "Yes, I know," said Sandra. "We're in Italy. Look, there's the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Let's walk around." As they were walking towards the tower, they saw a strange scene. Builders were collecting their rubbish from around the tower, and two men were shouting angrily at one of them.
Che cazzo stai facendo?
Stai tranquillo.
"I see," said Steve, who could understand Italian. "They're not at all pleased with the builder. They aren't going to pay him because the tower's leaning." "Tell them that they should be very pleased," said Emma. "It's going to be the most famous tower in the world because it's leaning." For a whole day, they traveled forward and back in time in Italy. "Can we see a football match?" asked Dan. "Maybe AC Milan?" "Sure," said Steve. "Let's Google their stadium." Suddenly, they were in a large stadium in the middle of an excited crowd. "I don't think this is going to be a football match," said Dan. "I can't see any goalposts, and the people aren't wearing AC Milan scarves. They look like ancient Romans." "Oh no," said Sandra. "Look at those soldiers in the middle. They look very frightened." At that moment, some lions ran through a gate into the arena. Luckily, Steve had some other image open on his screen, and before the fighting began, he clicked on a picture of a mountain. However, this was not Steve's lucky day. Next, they found themselves on a rocky mountainside. "What a horrible smell," said Dan. "Just like bad eggs." Yellow clouds were coming out of the mountain top, and stones began to fall out of the sky. "Look, the volcano is erupting!" cried Emma. "We must be close to the city of Pompeii," said Steve. "If the year is 79 CE, then we're in danger." They ran back to the time machine, where Steve quickly clicked on a different building. "Rome again," he said, "but without the lions, I hope." When they landed, they thought at first that they were in the middle of a red sunset, but then they smelled smoke. Everywhere, buildings were on fire. "It's a disaster," cried Dan. "This must be the Great Fire of Rome, which was in 64 CE. This is dangerous." They were unlucky. At that moment, a pair of wild-looking dogs ran up to them. One of them bit Sandra on the ankle. She screamed and Steve chased the dog away. They hurried back to the time machine. Steve took out the first aid box and cleaned the dog bite, looking worried. "I think that dog was sick," he said, "so we need to find a doctor for Sandra, fast." "And not a Roman doctor, please," said Sandra. "This means a trip back to the 21st century," said Steve. "Okay, let's go."
A. Discuss where do you think these places are. Read and check. Number the pictures in order. तो यहाँ पे सबसे पहले ये लोग यहाँ पे गए थे जहाँ टावर ऑफ पीसा था इटली में, और इसको नंबरिंग आप में 1 देंगे। सेकंड में वो यहाँ पे स्टेडियम में गए थे, ये भी इटली में ही था, लेकिन यहाँ पे फुटबॉल मैच की जगह वो एक फाइट हो रही थी जो लायंस और उनकी आर्मी के जो फौजी थे सोल्जर्स उनके साथ था। उसमें ये भी इनकी एक एंशियंट गेम थी। थर्ड में वो गए थे यहाँ पे जो यहाँ पे पोम्पई का सही जो सिटी था, ये हुआ था वाल्केनो इरप्ट, और उसके नतीजे में वहाँ पे पत्थरों की और मट्टी की और राख की बारिश की वजह से वो सारा का सारा इलाका जो है वो एक तरह से फ्रीज हो गया था, या आप ये कहें कि उसके नीचे वो इसी तरह सेव हो गया था। इसके लिए मैंने एक वीडियो बनाई हुई है जो मैंने आप लोगों को पहले भी रिकमेंड किया था। हमारा एक चैनल है स्टिकी नोट्स, तो इसमें जो ये है इसके बारे में भी एक वीडियो बनाई हुई है, मैं उसका लिंक भी आपको दे दूंगी।
In the year 79 AD, Mount Vesuvius was seen as just another mountain. No one knew it was a volcano. People in the nearby cities felt tremors, but life continued as normal. That night, families went to sleep in their homes. Before morning, the mountain erupted. A massive cloud of ash and gas raced down the slopes at extreme speed. It was hotter than boiling water and impossible to outrun. In Pompeii and nearby towns, nearly 20,000 people were killed. Many were frozen in place, mid-run, mid-scream, mid-life. Their bodies decayed, but the ash hardened around them, preserving their final moments. Today those figures remain, not as statues, but as a warning from history about how suddenly everything can end.
तो ये है हमारा चैनल, प्लीज़ इसको सब्सक्राइब करें, और इसमें आपको बहुत सारी चीज़ें मिलेंगी जो कि हिस्ट्री से रिलेटेड हमने वीडियोस बना रखी हैं और भी बनाते रहेंगे इंशाल्लाह आगे। सो थर्ड इवेंट ये था जो अभी मैंने आपको वीडियो भी दिखाई है, पोम्पेई जो सिटी था, और इसमें जो फोर्थ वन वो जहाँ पे पहुँचे थे वो यहाँ पे गए थे, तो वो ये थी ग्रेट फायर ऑफ रोम, तो ये रोम है। तो यहाँ इसको आप नंबरिंग 4 करेंगे। तो अब हम बी पे आ जाते हैं। बी है आंसर दीज क्वेश्चंस। हाउ मैनी डिजास्टर डिड दे एक्सपीरियंस ड्यूरिंग देयर ट्रिप? व्हाट वर दे? सो इसका जो है फर्स्ट वाले का आंसर ये है 3 फाइटिंग इन द अरीना, अ वॉल्केनो वाज erupting, द ग्रेट फायर ऑफ रोम। Second question is who recognized the leaning tower of Pisa? So answer is Sandra. Third one, who knew the name of the football club in Milan? Dan. Fourth one, who recognized the Roman cloth? Dan. Fifth one, who noticed the bad smells? It was again Dan. Then sixth one is who knew the date of volcano disaster at Pompeii? Uncle Steve. Who knew the date of the Great Fire of Rome? It was Dan. Who was worried about Sandra's dog bite? Uncle Steve. C है find and underline the direct questions in the story, then report them. For example, are you ready for the adventure? Uncle Steve asked if they were ready for the adventure. तो एक और था how do you start the machine? Asked Dan. Dan asked Steve how he started the machine. फिर एक और है आप लिख लें have you guessed where we are? Asked Steve. Steve asked them if they had guessed where they were. एक और था can we see a football match? Asked Dan. Dan asked if they could see a football match. ठीक है, अगले में आ जाएं डी में डिस्कस व्हाट डू यू थिंक इज गोइंग टू हैपन नेक्स्ट।